Development. Distinguished noble colleagues, we want to say we are very sorry as we are starting a little behind schedule. Please, can we be seated? Ushers, please. Distinguished noble colleagues, in case, and our dignitaries, in case you need anything, our ushers are around well-dressed with "Ask Me" tag on their chest. Please don't hesitate to call and ask for any assistance that will make your stay here a fantastic one. Please, we have our convenience at the main entrance there. If you are going out, immediately after this hall by the foyer, is on the left-hand side. However, we have convenience reserved for our dignitaries and eminent personalities behind the podium here. Noble colleagues, with the order of Mr. President, our 24th president of this great institution, the program, we sincerely appreciate all our dignitaries here present and those that are still on the way. Noble colleagues, the program is started forthwith. National anthem, please. Oh, audit, please. Audit. I sent it.
What you be doing now is just recognition and calling people to their seats. To their seats. Recognition. Okay.
Distinguished noble colleagues, I have the honor and privilege of announcing the arrival of the representative. I have the honor and privilege of announcing the arrival of the Minister of Works and Housing, who is ably represented by Dr. Mrs. Aisha Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege of introducing the President and Chairman of National Council of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Sir Chief Emmanuel Okas Wike, the Chairman of the National Council. That's our 24th President. Distinguished noble colleagues, our first Vice President is here present, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, John Boo Amayabo. Still on the hierarchy in the management committee of the institution, the second Vice President of our great institution is also here present, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Victor Alunge. Can we put our hands together, please? Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, here present is the Honorary National Secretary of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Shola Abeji. Please stand up for recognition, please. Distinguished noble colleagues, the Honorary National Treasurer of our great institution is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Mutiu Kolapo Balogun. Noble colleagues, the Honorary National Public Secretary of our institution is here anchoring the program, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Otumba Sahid Makinde. You are welcome, everybody. Noble colleagues, the Assistant Honorary National Secretary of our great institution is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Monday Aiwe. Wherever you are, please stand up for recognition. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Mrs. Omotola ABUJA is the Assistant Honorary National Treasurer of our great institution. Wherever you are, can you stand up for recognition, please? The person that is going to be assisting me up here is the Honorary Assistant National Public Secretary, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Tony Aluko. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have in our midst our past presidents. To start with is our 11th president of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer O.J.A. Idudu. You are welcome to our midst, sir. Noble colleagues, we have in our midst another past president and chairman of Board of Trustees of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Chief Emeka Onora Ochendu One is our 18th president. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have the opportunity of having in our midst the chairman of our registration board, Esvabon. Is no other person than Estate Surveyor and Valuer Gesh Ensho. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have in our midst Estate Surveyor and Valuer Bode Adediji. That's our 19th president. Noble colleagues, we have in our midst another past president, the 28th president of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Emeka D. Ele. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have in our midst another Estate Surveyor and Valuer who is equally a past president, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Sir Roland. I don't see him. Toyin. Estate Surveyor and Valuer, the 21st president of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Olorogu James Omeru. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Sincerely sorry, I think it's as a result of the COVID-19 protocol that we are actually observing. Sincerely sorry, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have our 23rd president in our midst, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Roland Abonta. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have our council members here present. In order to save the time, with the permission of Mr. President, all the council members here present, Unofficial member of the council, can we please stand up for recognition wherever we may be? Unofficial member of the councils, unofficial member of the council, including all the branch chairmen, all members of the council, please stand up for recognition. Thank you so much. You're all welcome. Distinguished noble colleagues, your excellencies, our dignitaries are already here. Some are still on their way. Noble colleagues, I have the honor and privilege of announcing the arrival of the Minister for Works and Housing, our supervising minister, who is ably represented by Dr. Mrs. Aisha Indayako Mohammed. She's a director in the Special Project Unit of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Ma, noble colleagues, we're expecting the arrival of other eminent personality and dignitaries, but in our midst, right here, we have in person the Surveyor General of the Federation in our midst. Is Surveyor Samuel Adeniran Taiwo, the Surveyor General of the Federation. You're welcome, sir. Our ushers, please get our programs and get it distributed to our dignitaries and our past president, please.
You made a mistake that is making the wait, just wait. Is the chairman of the Interim National Council
I didn't refer to him as the past president. I just said chairman of the board.
But you need to mention that.
Okay.
Because that is the position that got him to
where he is. Okay.
So as you are going, you just correct that.
All right, sir.
Recognize him.
All right, sir. In our midst, we have a member of our board of trustees, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Professor Seho Otegbulu. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues,
Representative of the Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank, ESB Abdul Razak Abdullahi. Representative of MD
yeah,
Federal
big ash.
Mortgage Bank.
Okay. If I'm so to go around and pick other dignitaries, so that I'll be having. I told you. Noble colleagues, we also have in our midst the representative of the Managing Director of Federal Housing Authority, our own Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Abdul Razak Abdullahi. You're welcome to our midst, ma. But madam,
Before the ministry, Lord Jonathan comes, make this announcement. Yes, yes.
okay. Distinguished noble colleagues, we have honorable members of Abia State House of Assembly in our midst. Honorable Paul I. Taribo, representing Abia State House of Assembly. Wherever you are, please stand up for recognition. That is the chairman, House Committee on Finance in the Abia State House of Assembly. You're welcome, sir. We also have Honorable Sir Aaron Uzodike, House Committee Chairman on Lands, Housing, and... Don't worry. Distinguished noble colleagues, still for our convenience, we have our exhibition arena there, and at the same time, the food court is at the back. Those people are actually here to add value to our conference. Let us patronize them to equally replicate the value they have added to our conference. Thank you very much. While other dignitaries and eminent personalities are coming in, we shall be making the announcement. Thank you.
Minister of State for Works and Housing. Shoot them. Okay.
Just calm down and do. Take your time and do your job.
Thank you. Help me to do something. Those people, inform them to do the national anthem. From those people, I want to have them. I'm so from national anthem.
This one is.
Okay, just calm down. No, that's what's going on. Interrupt you. Just calm down.
Thank you.
They said the representative of that you announced, MD of representing FHA, that is MD of Federal Mortgage Bank, that is representing.
Okay.
So that she's correct.
Okay.
Just try and calm down.
Okay. Okay. This thing too much.
Distinguished noble colleagues, please pardon me. The representative of the Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is ST Surveyor and Valuer Abdulrazak Abdullahi. You're welcome to our midst.
Thank you.
Please, if our hands are not busy, let us be appreciating our dignitaries. It's not easy to actually invite eminent personalities with their tight schedule and they grace our occasion. Please, let us be appreciating them. Thank you very much. Noble colleagues, we also have the representative of the Managing Director of Federal Housing Authority in our midst. Is our own estate surveyor and valuer, Sarah Ugiefa. She's the General Manager, Property Management Department in the Federal Housing Authority. You're welcome to our midst, madam. Thank you.
I think that's Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. It's a council member representing their president. But somebody about confirm so that one is our mother request. Yeah.
Distinguished noble colleagues, I have the honor I have the honor and privilege of announcing the arrival of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON, ably represented by Engineer Abdulkadir Aliyu, FNSE, Honorable Minister of State for Works and Housing. You're welcome to our midst, sir. ABUJA. Distinguished noble colleagues, the Honorable Minister of State for Works and Housing, who is representing the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, FNSE. Can we rise for the national anthem, please? Thank you very much. I've just been informed the arrival of the Ondo State Executive Governor, His Excellency Arakuni Olurotimi Akeredolu, SAN. You're welcome to our midst. With the permission of Mr. President, I have the honor and privilege of bringing to the podium for our opening prayer, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Monday, Richard Oludu, to lead us in the opening prayer.
Shall we rise to take the opening prayer in Christian way? Our Father and our God, we want to thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity you have given to us to be alive. It is only the living that can celebrate. We return all the glory to you in the name of Jesus. Lord, we commit that which we will do today into your hand. Please come and have your way. Come and take preeminent control. At the end, all the glory shall be returned back to you. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed.
Thank you very much. Shall we be seated, please? Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege of bringing to the microphone the host branch chairman, the Abuja branch chairman of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Lancer Agaji, for his opening remark, for his welcome address. Thank you. Can we put our hands together for the Abuja chairman, please? This is somebody who has hosted us in the last 2 days and still hosting us. Thank you.
The Vice President, all protocols duly and rightly observed. Welcome address by the Abuja branch chairman. It was a great opportunity given to our branch to host the 50th anniversary last year, but unfortunately, it did not hold due to the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. To the glory of God, we were given another chance this year to host this conference. Alas, it has finally come to pass. The 51st conference is here to stay in Abuja. I, on behalf of the Abuja branch, wish to welcome you all, the dignitaries, delegates, accompanying guests, resource persons, and members of the press to the 51st Annual Conference of our noble institution. As we come together today to unlock the real estate potentials for economic growth in Nigeria, we urge you to follow the interesting programs specially packaged for your intellectual development and knowledge growth, which was painstakingly done through the hard work of the Conference Planning Committee members led by ESV Kene Honora. It promises to be an interesting conference which will touch our lives positively. In this period of economic decline, this conference theme is coming at the right time. It will put us in the right pedestal to boost our country's economy and revenue generation through the real estate sector, which will be beneficial to both the private and public sector. Niesv's Abuja branch is known for its hospitality. Nobody visits us and leaves without testimonies of good tidings. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy this educative, interesting, and intriguing conference. You are all welcome to Abuja 2021 Annual Conference. Yours in service, my humble self. Thank you.
Let's appreciate him better than that. Short and precise. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I've just been informed that the representative of Edo State Governor is in our midst. Is no other person than our own estate surveyor and valuer, Izoken Omo. You're welcome to our midst, man. Distinguished noble colleagues, we also have in our midst a royal father and our own, His Royal Majesty Alayeluwa Dr. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Kehinde Gbadewole Olugbele, the paramount ruler and the Olu of Ilaro and paramount ruler of Yewa land. You're welcome to our midst, Kabiyesi. Kade pẹ́ lórí, kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, ẹṣin ọba á jókòó pẹ́ o. Thank you, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, we also have in our midst the representative of the President of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria is Dr. Nwabuso M. Emeke. He's a council member of the Institute and is the one representing the President of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria here today. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, we also have in our midst the representative of the Managing Director of Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited in our midst. Is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Eze Odigbo. Is a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuer. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I've just been briefed properly that the Mr. Governor of Ondo State doesn't like to be addressed as His Excellency. He preferred to just be addressed as Arakuni Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SAN. You are welcome to our midst, sir. Thank you very much. What an humble man to the core. Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. Distinguished noble colleagues, wise
person representing the Institute of Town Planning and the card has been sent to you. Nigerian Institute of Town Planning. This one that is representing, this one that's representing. I think this one will represent you. We'll do it. So that you will not see it. Okay, who's his name? Adejo. Adejo.
Distinguished noble colleagues, we also have in our midst the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. David Andrew Adejo. He's the Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs Office. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Sorry. Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, we also have the representative of the President of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners of Nigeria in our midst. Is Town Planner Eric Lomba. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, we also have the representative of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors in our midst. Is the immediate past president of the Institute, is Quantity Surveyor A.F. Alufwan. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, we also have in our midst the immediate Commissioner of Works and Infrastructure in Bayelsa State, our own estate surveyor and valuer, Godwin Konyefa. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the privilege of announcing the arrival of the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, GCON. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, the next on our program distinguished noble colleagues, we also have the representative of the Managing Director of the Nigerian Port Authority in our midst, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Salahu Razak Adeshino Babatunde. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege of bringing to the microphone the 24th President of Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and the Chairman of National Council of our institution, our Working and Action President, who has changed the nomenclature of the Institute. Distinguished noble colleagues, I have the honor and privilege of bringing to the microphone Estate Surveyor and Valuer Sir Chief Emmanuel Okas Wike for presidential welcome address. You're welcome, sir. Can we appreciate our president better than that, please?
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Yomi Osibajo, ably represented by the Minister of State for Works and Housing, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are welcome, sir. The Honorable Minister for Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, SAN, ably represented by Dr. Aisha Ndaku. You are welcome, sir. Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCON. You are welcome, sir. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ondo State, our friend and our colleague, His Excellency Oluwarotimi Agridolu, you are welcome, sir. The representative of the Governor of Edo State, Estes Oviamvalua Isoko Omo, you are welcome, sir. The representative of the Secretary to the Federal Government, you are welcome. Permit me also to recognize our Royal Highness, the Royal Father of the Day, our own His Royal Majesty, Kehinde Olibinle, the Olu of Oilaro. You are welcome, sir. Permit me also to recognize His Royal Highness of Gariki, Sapweya of Gariki. You are welcome, sir. The first Vice President of the Nigerian Nation of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Jumbu Amayebo, the second Vice President, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Victor Alonge, other members of Management Committee, the Chairman of Board of Trustees, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Emeka Honora, and other Board of Trustee members here present, the Chairman of Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Gershon Henshaw, past presidents here present. Let me specially recognize our own OJO Idudu. You are welcome, sir. In no order of preference, I can also see Estate Surveyor and Valuer Bode Adediji. I can also see Estate Surveyor and Valuer Patola Ajay. I can also see my own immediate boss, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Roland Abonta. I can also see Estate Surveyor and Valuer Emeka Ele, another past president here present. Sorry if I cannot see you from here. Permit me also to recognize all fellows of the institution, associate members, probationers, and students. You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I want to thank God Almighty for giving us the opportunity to gather once again for our annual conference. God has been merciful to us because at about this time last year, we could not meet. For us meeting today to formally declare open the 51st annual conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers is a thing of great joy. And apart from that, the cream of our invited guests that honored us this morning is something that we want to give glory to God. We say welcome to this annual conference. Please, can we put our hands together for our dignitaries? In fact, yesterday afternoon, when we got a letter from the office of the Vice President asking that our supervising ministry under the able leadership of Fashola and Engineer Abubakar, that they will be coming to represent him, I had a little happiness in me because about 1 week ago, I was with the Honorable Minister of State when the Estate Surveyors and Valuer Registration Board inducted some associates and we exchanged pleasantry. And I'm happy again that I'm sitting with you. Last week, I didn't stay close. Today, I'm sitting in your middle. So you permit me to take proper photograph today that I didn't do that day. Thank you very much. So I'm happy that you are here. And I'm happy that it's you that the Vice President sent to us. I'm glad I'm home. And to our immediate past president, we are happy that you are here, and we pray that God will continue to guide and protect you. you can see that a lot of people will want to take photographs. Please, grant them the opportunity. Allow, am I right? We have been seeing you in TV. Today we are seeing you physical. So tell your security people, let them give us the opportunity to snap with you. Because some of us will enlarge it and keep it somewhere. And it will be part of the memorial of 51 annual conference. So you are welcome to our midst. Security people, I beg, give us the opportunity to snap with him. You know, there's another day that says when you climb Iroko tree, collect whatever you collect. You might not have opportunity to climb again. So now that we have seen the vice president, we have seen the former president, please, if you have opportunity to snap, but don't push them down. No. Noble colleagues and dear members of our noble institution, it is with great joy in my heart I wish to welcome you all to the 2021 National Annual Conference of our great institution, holding at this venue in Abuja, the federal capital city of Nigeria. Despite the deadly nature of the coronavirus, it spread across the continents and the challenges it brought upon the world, our nation, restriction of movement and alteration of lifestyle, it is a thing of great joy that we are gathered here physically and virtually. As in every other sector of the economy, our practices and businesses might have been affected one way or the other, but we have every cause to thank God, whose mercies never cease on us and our loved ones. All praise is due to God Almighty, who spared our lives to be present in this great occasion. I am most grateful to him for permitting us to hold this conference and for bringing us together physically and virtually after several months of restriction of movement and social gathering. I am most delighted to be addressing this August Assembly today as the 24th President and Chairman of National Council of our great institution of about 18,000 members, 29 branches, and 15 business divisions, which began with an initial membership of slightly above 100 in 1970. Since inception, the Nigerian Institution of Estates, Surveyors, and Valuers has positively and progressively impacted the Nigerian landscape with several achievements and contributions, which are numerous to mention here. We have continued to promote the general interests of the profession while maintaining and extending its usefulness by advising members of the public, government, departments, statutory bodies, local governments, associations, institutions, on all matters within the scope of the profession, whilst also initiating and considering any legislation relevant to the objects of the institution. We have consistently acquainted the public with the role of estate surveyors and valuers in the economic development of our nation. Conferences provide opportunities for networking, expansion, deepening of knowledge, and professional development. I urge every one of us to make good use of this opportunity to gather and share with one another new things, new ideas, new techniques of practice, especially in pandemic and post-pandemic regimes. The theme of this year's real estate latches on the way the economy is patterned. There are huge potentials and prospects for the industry to strive in Nigeria. The sector is heavily underdeveloped, and there exists a lot of opportunities for development within the Nigerian real estate sector. But those opportunities can only be harnessed and realized by conscious and committed efforts of professionals, actors, stakeholders, government, and private sector commitment. In other climates, real estate sector contributes hugely to the gross domestic product, GDP. In Nigeria, statistics have indicated that housing contributes about 0.5%, which is ridiculous. In the United States of America and United Kingdom, you have contribution of about 18 to 20% to their GDP. There is no business that does not require real estate, and there is no human being that does not require real estate in one way or the other. So the sector is key and acts as a barometer of national development. The potentials are there, the opportunities abound, but we need to harness them. It is important that the economy is properly focused, led, managed by policymakers and the government in particular. So the real estate can strive maximally, considering it is imperative that we refocus, reinvent, especially in post-COVID-19 economy. I am glad that we are deliberating on this timely subject as we emerge out of the pandemic with effort being made to reject the economy by the present administration. I'm excited at the depth of knowledge, competencies, and exposure of resource persons we have invited to share ideas with us in this open gathering. I join all our members who registered for this conference to attend the plenary session and all other sections, physically or virtually, as the case may be. We will continue to greatly impact and enrich. I am very optimistic that we are going to have a very exciting time together in learning, unlearning, and relearning many things at this conference. At the end of it all, we will come up as usual with a communique which shall represent our collective views on how to unlock and harness the potentials and opportunities of real estate for sustainable economic development of our great nation, Nigeria, which will flourish and to make us to be a proud nation of this country. Permit me to use this medium to express my heartfelt gratitude to the members of our great institution for giving me the honor to pilot the affairs of the institution as the president. I also want to appreciate the National Council members for their kind support for the programs of this administration. Without your support and cooperation, we will not be where we are today. I am absolutely confident that the path we have collectively chosen as a professional body will continue to shine brighter and brighter as we vigorously pursue the objects of the institution. In unity, we shall reach our goal and we shall succeed together. A great deal of critical and strategic thinking has been deployed into making this conference a reality and huge success. I wish to thank most sincerely the brains behind the planning of the conference and the conference planning committee, ably coordinated by Esther Sofia Mvalua Kene Honora, a fellow of the institution, and the Honorary National Public Secretary, Esther Sofia Mvalua Otumba Said Makinde, Associate of the institution, and other members of their team. You deserve our commendation. Please, can we give them a round of applause? Worthy of recognition and appreciation are representatives of government, heads of government agencies, chief executive officers of corporate organizations, stakeholders in the built sector for identifying with us in this event. To the presidents of sister professional bodies, I am thanking you for your warm goodwill messages that we have received and that we are going to receive. We started receiving goodwill messages since yesterday. Noble colleagues, in addition to offering an opportunity to learn and deepen our knowledge, this annual conference is a time to take of stock taking. We will be doing ourselves a lot of good if we will look back and ponder on our activities and experiences in the past with a resolve to use the experience of the past 51 years as lesson for the future, for the growth of our institution, for the growth of this nation, Nigeria. The years ahead offers us a golden opportunity to invent and reinvent. Our practicing environment is changing rapidly in response to changes in the world, where innovations and new discoveries are rapidly unfolding. Our orientation must also be altered. We must take constant look at our practicing standards with a view to comply with the needs of the day. The years ahead must be more dynamic than the last 51 years. The onus is on us to make this a reality. Nevertheless, one piece of advice I must not toy with is the maintenance of our individual and collective empowerment, in addition to our reserves of knowledge and competencies via continuous training. This is the only path to sustain relevancy at all times. We must resolve as a body to defend our territory that God Almighty has given unto us, a good heritage that a lot of people are envy of, we have a responsibility to protect and to guide it, and our core competencies against onslaught from invaders and hawks in their inglorious and inglorious attempts to practice the profession they have no qualification to do so. They are resolute in what they are doing, but their ungodly deeds will not stand, neither will it come to pass. But we must constantly be on guard and watch our flanks to ensure that the enemies of this profession do not take what belongs to us. To this end, distinguished noble colleagues, I welcome you to the 2021 annual conference of our great institution. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
We can do better than that for our president, please. Distinguished noble colleagues, your excellencies, I have the honor of recognizing His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Uthman Ngakupi, Sapei of Garike, Abuja. You're welcome to our midst, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, next on our program, before we do that, please, I have the honor of letting you know categorically that I have two other people who will be assisting me here right now. I would like to bring on here Estate Surveyor and Valuer Oyakilome. You're welcome.
Your Excellencies, please a round of applause for the Honorary National Publicity Secretary. Thank you very much. Surveyors, I expect us to clap more than this. It's our 51st conference. And we are alive, we are healthy, unlocking real estate potentials for economic development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my working president of our great institution, before I recognize these dignitaries here with us, I want to specially recognize again Africa's ambassador of democracy, a man that brought peace to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a proud son of the Izor, a man that is making peace all over Africa, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Please, Estate Surveyors, can we give this man a rousing round of applause? It's nice seeing you again, Your Excellency. Recently, you came back from Mali, and we've been told you've been made a chancellor of a university in Uganda. What a feat. Thank you very much. Your name has become a household name. When I grow up, sir, I want to be like you, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. So it's official. You can now call our former president, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, an estate surveyor and valuer by association. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, also in the entourage of the immediate past president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have my father from Edo State, the former chief of staff to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Chief Mike Ogiadome. Please a round of applause for him. Also the former deputy governor of Edo State. You're welcome, sir. Also in that entourage, we have His Royal Highness King A.J. Tona, the paramount ruler of Opumetal Bayelsa State. Aizo! You're welcome, sir. Your Royal Highness. We have here with us the former chairman of FEMA here with us, Engineer Olajide Adenide. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. We recognize you. We have the paramount ruler of Emakela Kala Bayelsa, His Royal Highness Iboro Edaba. Please a round of applause for him. All these people in the entourage of the immediate past president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing the minister, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, our landlord, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Perpetua Ohama. Please a round of applause for her, a fellow of our great institution. Representing the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, he actually looks like the SGF. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Mr. David Andrew Adejo, the Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs. You're welcome, Your Excellency. Also here with us, Your Excellencies, is the Director, Special Project Unit of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Ndayako Mohammed. Please a round of applause for her. Who's representing him? Okay. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, the President of our great institution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, noble colleagues, there is no time in history as a surveyor than to be a surveyor today. We have lined up dignitaries from all over Nigeria. Very soon we'll have joining us the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We've never had a conference with this caliber of dignitaries. What it means is that our working president, as a surveyor and valuer, Chief Saokas Wike, is actually taking us to the next level. Please a round of applause for him as I invite the next MC for this occasion. My name is as a surveyor and valuer Frank Oyakilome Richard, an associate of this great institution, registered as a surveyor and valuer, the only MC that is an ESV. You're welcome.
Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor of bringing to the microphone the representative of our supervising minister, Minister for Works and Housing, ably represented by Dr. Mrs. Aisha Ndayako Mohammed. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, madam. Can we put our hands together better than that for her, please? Thank you very much.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. The representative of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliu, FNSC, German Portiscombe, the Honorable Minister of State of Works and Housing. Permit me to stand on the protocols eloquently elucidated by the President of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. I am to represent the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN. Thus, I'll read his welcome address. It is with delight that I address you all on this auspicious occasion of the official opening of the 51st Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, NIESV. Being the first conference after the COVID-19 lockdown, I am indeed thankful that unlike last year, we are able to converge as real estate professionals to deliberate on contemporary topical issues affecting your profession, the built environment, and Nigerian economy. As you know, the conference could not hold last year as the nation and the world at large was plagued by the deadly pandemic which adversely affected the global economy. You will recall that I was at your 49th annual conference tagged Eko Akiti 2019 held in Lagos. This was in demonstration of the commitment of the federal government, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, to the development of all sectors critical to nation building. Permit me to use this medium to express my profound gratitude to the National Council and the membership of the institution for the invitation, and most importantly, for saddling me with the task of presenting a keynote address. My understanding of the task you gave me is to set the tone and direction of fruitful discourse for this year's conference tagged ABUJA 2021. The conference theme, Unlocking Real Estate Potential for Economic Development, is very apt, given the peculiar economic challenges confronting our country, for which the federal government, under the able leadership of Mr. President, is taking bold steps to address by heavy investments in infrastructural development. The federal government is conscious of the need to diversify the economy by creating multiple income streams to grow the economy. This vision can only be achieved when new and existing economic activities are created and or regenerated, with private sector driving the process to stimulate growth and development. The development of critical infrastructure, such as provision and maintenance of new roads and bridges, airports, rail infrastructure, power sector infrastructure, housing, telecommunications, good health delivery system, educational facilities, have salutary impacts on the real estate sector. It is therefore in realization of this fact that the federal government has taken deliberate steps to bridge our infrastructural deficit, which is estimated to be in excess of 15 trillion naira. One of the core objectives of the federal government is to upgrade and expand the country's critical infrastructure in terms of quality and quantity through the National Integrated Infrastructural Master Plan. The plan targets prioritization of projects and programs over the short and medium terms, with emphasis on requisite frameworks to drive the plan. The Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP, which is a medium-term economic recovery and growth roadmap, was put in place in 2017 by the federal government to pull the country out of recession by reappraising the key sectors of growth in order to facilitate investment in critical infrastructure and real sectors with job and revenue creating potentials and less dependency on oil. The federal government is currently developing the medium-term National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, a 5-year plan to sustain the gains of ERGP and delve into new frontiers that will hasten economic diversification, infrastructural development, and growth. These, no doubt, have immense impact that could enable the unlocking of the real estate sector. Given the revenue and job-creating capacity of the real estate sector and its huge multiplier effect on the gross domestic product, GDP, the focus of the federal government will remain on it. The present administration understands that real estate development takes pace and is hinged on land. As such, conscious efforts have been made with respect to accessibility, affordability, and security of land and titles thereto. Between July 2018 and May 2021, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has processed and issued 4,628 certificates of occupancy and 2,230 consents to secondary land transactions. These titles are used by holders to access investable loans, to start new businesses or grow existing ones, thus expanding the economy and creating jobs for our teeming youths. In furtherance of the ease of doing business, which is being vigorously pursued by the federal government to make our processes and business environment attractive and competitive to investors, the ministry is working earnestly to reduce land titling processing time to encourage and attract investments. We have commenced the digitalization and facilitation of processes leading to digital preparation, issuance, and execution of certificates of occupancy. This is aimed at delivering transparent, credible, and secure land titling infrastructure to help unlock the wealth inherent in our land resource. We are also leveraging on these innovations to improve on our land administration, service delivery, and land governance. This will expand land-based revenue generation, efficient and effective services to the public. It is important to iterate at this junction that the federal government launched the National Housing Program with the provision of 3,926 housing units across 34 states of the Federation and the FCT. The program targets low and medium income earners who really need the houses. I am happy to report that the ministry is engaging estate surveyors and valuers in implementing the valuation of federal government assets for the purpose of International Public Sector Accounting Standards, IPSAS. The exercise will enable the federal government ascertain the current worth of its physical assets, which you know is a critical requirement for assessing international funding and technical assistance from development partners. Our role in the ministry is to continue creating enabling environment through purposeful regulations, policy formation, and rendering assistance where necessary to enable professionals like you operate and build basic infrastructure for the common benefits of Nigerians. We will continue to initiate long-lasting collaborations with stakeholders to attract requisite investments. We are similarly committed to initiatives that would help create jobs and wealth to grow the economy. At this junction, let me task this conference to work with other professional associations with related goals to develop built environment priorities and imperatives that will make the adherence to land use zoning regulations, law, and orderly development and utilization of the environment in the most friendly, responsible, organized, and sustainable manner. As you know, law, order, and planning are ingredients for a prosperous real estate development. You should therefore take very seriously these inputs in planning real estate investments. Dear distinguished participants, let me also take a little time to share with you some critical areas I desire this conference to dwell on in some more depth. This is data. As you know, data is a currency for the future and organized development. Without data, planning will be difficult and almost impossible to implement for beneficial use. In view of the relevance of data to real estate, I would request this conference to explore prospects of regularly gathering and updating of data on credible land availability, housing supply, and gaps to be met, as well as the contributions of the sector to the gross domestic product. Once again, I wish to congratulate the President and Council, the entire membership of this noble institution for reawakening the psyche of the Nigerian Dodged spirit in the direction of unlocking available but largely unharnessed potential inherent in the real estate through this conference. I wish you all very robust and fruitful deliberations. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
We can do better than that for representative of our supervising minister. You're welcome, ma. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor of recognizing the President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, who is ably represented by Architect Lanre Olushola. You're welcome, sir. Distinguished noble colleagues, I have the honor of bringing to the microphone the Surveyor General of the Federation for his goodwill message for us, Surveyor Samuel Adeniran Taiwo. You're welcome to our meeting, sir.
Your Excellencies, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol for the sake of time. I'm quite happy and so joyful for the invitation for this August gathering in June of some of the heads of our dearly country. It is a great honor and indeed a demonstration of your desire to build synergy among professionals in order to ensure best practices in the planning and implementation of projects for sustainable development. I'm grateful and sincerely thankful to the President and other executives and the entire member of Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and Valuers. Your team for the ABUJA 2020-2021 annual conference, Unlocking Real Estate Potential for Economic Development, is timely and inspiring. There is no gainsay the fact that land is a major resource of any type of physical development, impacting heavily on the national economic architecture. The management of land for development is of great consequences. Hence, it helps in curtailing wastage of energy, time and finances, financial resources, and others. Land is a major factor in production, and it's key for all purposes of socio-economic development. The significance of land administration and property management underscore the relevance of your role to the delivery of quantitative and qualitative physical development, and in the broad spectrum, the socio-economic advancement of the nation. Our country suffers a lot of economic loss due to lock-up capital in land as a consequence of ineffective land administration. And I'm too sure our ministry is actually doing a lot to unlock the capital in land, improper land use and proper land management. Your role in the support of other professions will definitely promote proper use of our land space that will guarantee aesthetics, healthy environment, and even distribution of infrastructure and more prosperity to our nation. While pledging the support and cooperation of the Office of the Surveyor General of the Federation to your profession, I urge you to deeply reflect upon your important role in national economic development in various areas of discourse at this conference. The outcome of this conference, I hope, will spur informed decision-making and policy for our national development. I wish you all successful deliberation at this conference. Thank you for your attention. God bless the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. God bless our dear country, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor of bringing to the microphone for his own goodwill message. That's from the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Lanre Olushola, representing the President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. You're welcome, sir. We can do better than that for him. Thank you so much.
Your Excellencies, President of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, all important dignitaries present and represented here today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand, as usual, on the already established protocol. I stand before you humbly representing the President and the Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Sonny T. Echona, who brings warm greetings to this august gathering today. I also stand here feeling very much at home because I am in the midst of colleagues that work together with us in the built environment. I also stand here because the president of your institution also worked with us in the Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria as a very strong board member of that association. It is my pleasure to bring warm greetings, like I said, from the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, who unavoidably could not be here today. However, he is well represented because some of our colleagues in our institute are also members of your institute. So we are very well represented in your midst today. The Nigerian Institute of Architects is happy to be here to witness a day like this because such day has not happened in a long while. And we all know the reason for that. The theme of today, of this event, which started since Tuesday of this week, unlocking real estate for economic development, cannot be more right. The future of our country, the future of our economy in Nigeria, which real estate takes 40% of its development, is in the hands of those who develop and manage this real estate. And real estate encompasses all kinds of development in our society. And we are very privileged to work side by side with the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers to build an economy that will stand toe-to-toe with the rest of the world. This is what the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers stand for. And this is what they aim to represent at this event today. It is my prayer that by the time estate surveyors and valuers, distinguished men and women of this noble profession, leave this conference at the end of this week, they would have gained things that would turn the economy of Nigeria around for the good. And I know that the President and Council of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors have quite a lot in stock to make this happen. Therefore, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the President of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, I say to you, everyone seated and online watching us today, that you are in for a good time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Sister Profession, the Nigerian Institute of Architectures. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we want to invite the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs, Mr. David Andrew Adejo. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Honorable Minister of State for Works and Housing, Your Excellency, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Executive Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, Royal Fathers here present, I take the liberty of the man behind the mic to adopt the existing protocols that have been eloquently established. I bring you warm greetings from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who could not be here because of constricting demands on his time at this particular time in the nation. He had asked me to deliver his goodwill message, and I quote, "Goodwill message by Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, delivered on the occasion of the 51st Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and Valuers, held on Thursday, 24th July 2021 at the International Conference Center. It gives me great pleasure to be in your midst today at the official opening of the 51st Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estates, Surveyors and Valuers. Permit me to commend the President and Chairman of the NIESV, Chief Sir Dr. Emmanuel Okawike, for the exemplary leadership in driving the affairs of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. I wish to also appreciate the support of members of the institution to ensure that the profession of surveying and valuing our estates holds up to a high and reputable standard of professional conduct and practice throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is my hope that this 51st Annual Conference will further enhance professionalism in your practice. I note with particular interest that the theme of this year's conference is unlocking real estate potentials for economic development, which resonates with the reinvigorated focus of this administration to divert our economic reliance from oil by promoting the increased contribution of the non-oil sector to the economy. I am also delighted that yesterday you devoted a session to discussing the potential of property taxation as a veritable alternative for improved revenue generation. As you are aware, the real estate sector has a lot of untapped potentials in contributing to the economic development of this country. It is for this reason that President Muhammadu Buhari is providing the necessary support to loosen hitherto constricting conditions for this potential to become a reality. Mr. President has thus increased budgetary allocation to the housing sector, introduced various initiatives in making housing development more inclusive, affordable, and people-oriented, as well as he has reviewed the building code to ensure a well-regulated and effective operation of construction activities in the country. The Building Energy Efficiency Code, jointly funded by the European Union and German government, has contributed in reducing energy costs, wastages, and conserving available energy for utilization in various homes. Similarly, the National Public Building Maintenance Policy has resolved the age-old long challenge of sustainable infrastructure assets for the public good and also opened a new vista of opportunities for employment for teeming graduates. It has also translated into enhanced growth for Nigerian small and medium-scale enterprises. In spite of the above efforts, government is very aware of challenges posed to the sector by the Land Use Act in creating viable and sustainable channels for land delivery. I am happy to inform you that the federal government is working towards the review of the Land Use Act. Besides the ongoing review of the Constitution, in which the Land Use Act is one of the issues that will be discussed, the proposed review by government is meant to correct inconsistencies and allow land banking and ownership to operate in a free market economy. The review will also foster fast and easy processing of land title and documents. In the speech by the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, you heard some of those being reeled out by the representative. All this will be to ensure longer leaseholds in line with Executive Order 1 on ease of doing business. Like in most sectors of our economy, the influx of quacks, more than the dearth of skilled manpower, is constituting a menace to the real estate sector. I am aware that the dearth of skilled manpower has been addressed through reinvigoration and review of curricula in the various institutions. But it is hoped that when that review is completed, that will be addressed. However, I want to assure you that government will continue to provide the necessary policy support for the sector. But it is your responsibility as professionals to preserve the integrity of your profession by eliminating quacks from the sector. And government will, through available policies and legislations, provide you that support. Government is also aware that housing finance requires long-term and not short-term financing, as commercial banks will want to do. And the development banks that are supposed to provide long-term financing are concentrating on short-term financing, either because of inadequacy or the need to make profits quickly. I will therefore implore you to engage in discussion to identify alternative terms of financing that are innovative, that will reduce the problem of funding for the housing sector. As government did with the support to all sectors as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, we shall always be ready to provide such support within the limits of competing demands on available resources. Finally, I would like to reiterate Mr. President's assurance that the country will soon put the current security challenges behind us, which will ensure that the security of lives and properties, as well as return the nation to a safe haven for foreign direct investment, essential for housing development. I thank you for your attention, and God bless. I unquote.
Thank you very much, the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Permanent Secretary, Political and Economic Affairs, Mr. David Adejo. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, given the next keynote address, goodwill message, is from my home state, the only governor in Nigeria that defeated godfatherism, Ogbane, Oba Atokpe, representing His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, is an estate surveyor and valuer, the executive chairman, Edo Development and Property Agency. Estate surveyor and valuer is Soke Omo. Please a round of applause for her as she comes to deliver the goodwill message of the governor and the good people of Edo State. She's a surveyor. Please, can we put our hands together for her, please? I expect the lady surveyors to clap more because it has been inaugurated. We have a women wing now. You're welcome.
Good morning, His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Minister of State for Works and Housing, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And I would like at this point to please stand on all already established protocol. I'm delivering this address on behalf of my governor, Godwin Nogegase Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, who was billed to be here today, but had sent a message he had an urgent engagement. So I would read this address as has been sent to me. I'm delighted to be invited to speak at this 51st annual conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Congratulations to the management committee for being able to host the conference this year after such a turbulent 2020. The theme of this conference, which is Unlocking Real Estate Potentials for Economic Development, is apt, considering the importance of real estate to all aspects of life and human endeavor. Real estate is a major driver of economic development and a key contribution to the gross domestic product. The current global realities following the COVID-19 pandemic makes it expedient for all nations to look inwards for solutions to strengthening their economies while creating strategic collaborations with external agencies, bodies, and governments. It is not different for us as a nation, and the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers is pivotal to actualizing that, since all activities for economic growth and development are done on one form of land or the other. Untapped value that are latent in land and real estate in Nigeria is currently estimated to be over 400 billion naira. This is huge, considering the value chain of youth engagement through employment, artisan apprenticeship schemes, supplies, manufacturing, facility management, to mention a few. 51 years of existence for the noble profession is also significant in that experience, knowledge, and track record gained must be applied in engaging with government, other professional bodies, and clients to ensure that value continues to be gained from real estate investments. Strategic alliances are key to changing policies and driving change for the good of the profession and real estate administration for value. In Edo State, we are clear on our intentions regarding real estate investment decisions to improve economic development. This administration has identified the relevance of professionals to the success of our Making Edo Great Again vision, so we are from very early on engaged effectively with professional bodies in the built environment to harmonize service delivery, improve collaboration, and maintain quality. Land administration has been overhauled through the creation of Edo Geographical Information Systems. Titling is faster, cheaper, and clearer to encourage investment in the sector, and we have been reaping the benefits. The Director of Land Administration in Edo State is an estate surveyor. Edo Development and Property Agency, which has been strengthened by law, is also headed by an estate surveyor, which is myself. Our Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development has a complement of professionals of the built environment, and I'm working closely with them. Our engagement with the built environment has yielded and continues to yield positive results, so the importance cannot be overemphasized. At this point in our development and growth, Niesv should be looking at setting up his own faculty so that all areas of the profession can be clearly mapped to reduce the occasion of quackery and expand the scope of the profession as it should be. Data is key to real estate delivery and administration. I implore, therefore, the institution to invest heavily in technology. Data warehousing, uniformity of data, and information reporting is the route to effective real estate management. The noble profession should not be left behind. Your oversight functions over such an important asset of life will be more effective with data application and management. During the last visit of the Niesv ESCO to Edo State and my investiture, promises were made by me to support the institution to achieve its objectives. Please be rest assured that all the promises will be fulfilled. Strengthening governance and policy will ensure that real estate becomes a major contributor, as it should be, to the gross domestic product of the nation, and a robust source of our internally generated revenues, as well as a potential employment generation source for our teeming unemployed youths. It is my expectation that this conference will interrogate your current approaches and rejig it where necessary to reposition the institution and make it a force to be reckoned with at the national, state, and local government levels. I wish you all a fruitful conference and AGM. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege to bring to the microphone Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SAN. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Governor, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mine will be a very short intervention. Mr. Vice President, ably represented by the Minister of State, Abubakar D. Aliyu, FNSA, President Ebele Jonathan, I have deliberately said that because in Nigeria we have formed the habit of referring to our presidents as former or this president. Once a president, always a president. We must stop that in this country. So, President Ebele Jonathan, I pay my respect to you. Our own president, let me mention you specifically, State Surveyor Sir Chief Emmanuel Okas Wike, the president of our institution, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will adopt the protocol already well established by earlier speakers. We're here today for the 51st annual conference. But if you look at it, it's like combining two conferences. And I'm happy you are referred to it as 2020-2021 conference. We were not here, or you were not able to have the 2020 conference for reasons well known to all of us, because we had this COVID-19 lockdown. It affected everybody. But here we are today, to the glory of Almighty God. A number of us are not even adopting the COVID-19 protocol, but many of us are here, and I thank God that we are able to come here and to be part of this conference. Let us give God all the glory. I want to say, Mr. President, not President Ebele Jonathan, and Mr. President Wike, our own president of the institution, that we met in Ibadan. during the honor, recognition that was hosted by Chief B. Adesanya, one of your fellows, for those in Ibadan who just became fellows. And we met. And that meeting, you were with me in my office. When I say office, please permit me, I have an office in Ibadan, and I have the main office now in Undo, so that nobody will be confused. And we met in my office in Ibadan, and I promised I was going to be here. This is a promise made and a promise kept. And I must thank one of your colleagues, Bengaulani, who, as early as about 9 a.m., even while I was yet to take my bow, had the residence here, the governor's residence here in Abuja, at least, will I say chaperone, but he wanted to be with me as I come here, and I thank him for coming. As I said at that meeting in Ibadan, we are colleagues, quote and unquote. Lawyers and estate surveyors, we have strong affinity. I know if we go out of here, if I leave here today, there will be many people that I had landlord together, that I did contract together, that I did other courses together. So there are many courses in law that estate surveyors must take. So when I say colleagues, quote and unquote, I'm saying, well, yours is a noble profession, but also you are learned in some of our courses in law. So I must thank you for this wonderful invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And I made promise then that I was going to continue to support this institution, and I will keep that promise. And the institution, I was supposed to have had some investiture, but I'm sure it will be done later. So we keep that a secret from others. I'm sure most of you know, but it's all right. That will be done. I looked at the theme of this year's conference. Very clear. Unlocking. You have called it estate potential for economic development. Unlocking the estate potentials for economic or real estate for economic development. The potentials are there. All of us know. And you cannot have a better time to unlock it than now. You can't. I can assure you, most people outside and those who are here had had a lot of interest in keeping their funds in the bank, but who wants the meager percentage of interest that the bank is giving now? The only way is through real estate. So the time is now for you. This is the time for you to take over. Even all the bank, their potentials, the money, many people will want to take their money from the bank and invest in real estate. So you have that potential to unlock. I believe so. It's the time. This is the time. This is the time when Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Works, Lands and Housing, are committed to massive housing estate. All of us have seen it. It's in my state, it's in every state of the Federation. It says 34 plus FCT. But I believe it's in everywhere. That estates of yours must take. You must participate in this, and I'm sure you are participating fully in this. This is your time. And I must say that Yes, we had old ways of practices, but the time is also now. As somebody has said here, for new techniques, ICT must kick in your operation now. Because without that, we are moving nowhere. ICT must kick in. Most states today want to have land bank. Everything is about land. To build our infrastructural deficit, we need land. I remember years back when even NMPC, they want to lay their pipe, even from anywhere to Kaduna, Port Harcourt, everywhere. Estate surveyors are always involved. Because you are the one that will capture what is on those land, and at the end of the day, determine what compensation to be paid. And most times, those compensations are paid through your members. And that is, it brings me to the area of contention. I know that estate surveyors have always felt that, look, lawyers are encroaching in your profession. Is that not your feeling? But we all do law together, so why? And talking seriously, I had the opportunity of being president of the Bar Association. That was several years ago, over 10 years ago. I was president of the bar. And we kept making the point that, yes, just as we encroach on each other's profession, there must be a way we meet to agree. Because a number of estate surveyors also prepare agreements. Am I lying? So, if the lawyers leave your own functions to you, please leave lawyers' functions to them. There must be a point where we meet. And I do agree with you that the incursion from lawyers must stop. It is not in our place to be the ones that will be selling property everywhere. It is within your own purview. So for me as a lawyer, and when you sell, please bring the agreement to us to perfect. Everybody will be happy. That is where we have this issue of the misunderstanding between us a few times. But I must say this, that to see this large number of people, both at this floor and at the gallery, attending this conference is a great credit to your institution. Because for many, maybe because it affected us, all COVID period, I'm sure not much money came to your hand. Not much. But from the little you have, you are here to support your institution. I want to welcome all of you and thank you for coming, and I thank you for this invitation. Thank you.
Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, we can do better than that. Standing on the already established submission of Mr. Governor, once a president is always a president, is equally a president of Nigerian Bar Association in the past. You are welcome, Mr. President. Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege to bring to the microphone the president, a former president of the federal government of Nigeria, a former president, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan. A round of applause, please.
Please be seated. His Excellency, the Vice President, here ably represented by Engineer Baka Leo, the Honorable Minister of State, Works and Housing, the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, ably represented by Mrs. Aisha Mohammed, thank you for being here. The Governor of Ondo State, thank you, and thank you for that your brilliant intervention. And the Governor of Edo State being represented. The Secretary of Government of the Federation, Bob Mustafa, being represented by the Permanent Secretary, Political Affairs and Economic Issues. Our royal fathers are here with us, permanent secretaries, the Surveyor General of the Federation, and other very senior government functionaries here with us. The President of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Estate Surveyor and Valuers, Sir Chief Emmanuel Okaswike, other past presidents of this great institution, members of the Board of Trustees of this institution, officials of these institutions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Having listened to the Governor of Ondo State, a lawyer, and he spoke about how the lawyers and the estate surveyors make money. So everybody is happy, so I don't want to dilute that feeling. But it is my pleasure to join you here for the 51st Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Your association, like many others in the profession, especially in the building industry of this country, occupies a special place in the quest for our national development, which is critical, the building sector. That even with the COVID lockdown, there are certain areas of our economy that are very, very critical. You must eat, so agric is key. Even if people don't go to school, if they are sick, they will go to hospital. The health sector is key for our survival. And of course, even if the whole country is locked down, people will stay in houses. So the professionals that handle the building sector are critical. Not many, the estate surveyors, the land surveyors, the architects, the building engineers, and others. They are quite critical to our development as a nation. And that's why this year particularly entailed with the theme of your conference, Unlocking Real Estate Potential for Economic Development. Having listened to other speakers, the Honorable Minister of Lands and Housing, the Secretary of Government, I'm quite pleased, and some of the issues I wanted to mention in form of my goodwill message, I may not even bore your ears again. There are two things that I wanted to mention. One is land itself, which, like the Governor of Ondo said, whatever you talk about building or setting up businesses, factories are not built in space, they are built on land. And when we were in secondary school, the first thing you learn in economics in terms of what you need
to establish businesses. Land is one factor that's always mentioned. But till today, we don't have land policies that we are all comfortable with. Let me commend the national president of this institution, because I listened to him this morning on AIT, talking about the land use decree. I have to praise him for that brilliant presentation. But as a former president of this country, I asked myself, why are we still discussing the land use decree? That means that we are not moving. And it's a challenge to the estate surveyors and valuers and related professions, the lawyers, that we must, as professional bodies, assist government to come up with enduring policies to guide activities of government. When our policies are not properly guided by the input of professionals, you will begin to see policies somersault and wobbling. I remember when I was in office in Abuja here, we came up with this concept of land swap. Some people agreed, some people didn't agree, but I was probably briefed that it was the best thing to do if we must encourage investors. Of course, later on, it was suspended, now it has come back. But what I'm saying is that the professional bodies need to help the government. And Secretary of Government now mentioned that the government is looking into the land use decree, which is very commendable. And we call on all the professional bodies, don't sit back. This is the time you have to make sure your own suggestion and advice get into the next law so that we have a policy that will guide our investment. The next thing I wanted to mention is the building sector, as I've mentioned before, is one of the key sectors. Whether you have food to eat or you are sick, you will be in a building, either in the hospital or in your house. And this is a country where we have so many unemployed young people. And all of us know that the building industry can create a lot of jobs. But up to this time, if you move close to where people are building sophisticated houses, not the kind of one I live in anyway, you will see that most of these people who are brought to do the finishing come from outside Nigeria. I just wanted, for me to exercise and ask somebody to build a lawn tennis court for my house in Agua there. After the slab and so on, I was told, that the people that will come and do the finishing, the proper surfacing and painting, they were bringing them from Lagos. I said, why? Okay. But when these young people came in to do that work, they were not Nigerians. What is sophisticated about a lawn tennis? A lawn tennis is just a concrete slab with proper surfacing so that you will not fall. But we import people. And still this is a country that we are struggling, the state government, the federal government, the local governments, the private sector struggling to create jobs for our teeming young people. So one of my areas I want to intervene in terms of my goodwill message is to use this platform to plead with both private and public institutions that at least we need to create institutions that will properly train our young people in the building sector. I realize that most of the young Nigerians that do this fitting, tiling, POP and others, most of them get trained on the job. Have a little practical knowledge on the job, but no theoretical background. And it's very dangerous because you need a little theoretical background to handle technical things so that you can envisage the implications of when you don't do that thing properly. And luckily, we have 2 state governors that are participating with us today. The states, every state should be able to get one good institution. And you don't need to politicize it to build every local government one, and they are poorly equipped. Just one good one that should be able to train those who will handle the finishing of a building. It will help to create a number of jobs for our young people. I have to commend the president the topic for today, unlocking real estate potential for economic development. And in your speech, there is something you mentioned that is quite critical. We must learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is very, very relevant for us to move our nation forward. So let me once again congratulate the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers for your 51st annual conference holding today in Abuja. We wish you successful deliberations. Let me thank all of you who have found time to come and encourage them. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, we can do better than that for our President, please. Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, I have the honor and privilege to bring to the microphone the Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by Engineer Abubakar D. Aliyu, FNSE, Honorable Minister of State for Works and Housing. Can we put our hands together for the Honorable Minister, please?
Thank you. Well, what would I say? The governor of Ondo State is a lawyer, so he can defend himself. I'm talking about Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Even my brother, the former president, contradicted the governor when he said being the former president. So he was our president, and we have another president now. So in order not to create confusion, that's why we separate. Yeah. So, so thank you very much. My brother, it's good to see you, sir, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Goodluck Azikwe Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, GCON. The governor of Ondo State, Mr. Governor, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, the representative of the SGF, Boss Mustafa, the president of the Institute, Emmanuel Wike, Estes Surveyor, and Valua, representative of the Edo State Governor, Your Royal Highnesses, former past president, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I am here to represent the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yomi Osibanjo, GCON, SAN, at this 51st Golden Jubilee Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. He has sent his speech to me, which I am going to read. Anywhere you hear me saying I'm referring to the Vice President. So here I go. It is always a pleasure to spend time with fellow professionals, and especially those of institutions that have contributed so much to the development of Nigeria. It is no mean feat to be celebrating your 51st Golden Jubilee, so I join all well-wishers to acknowledge your good work over the years and wish you more success in future. As we all know, an anniversary of this sort is an important one and therefore must be taken seriously. So while there is cause for much celebration, there is as much cause for reflection. I was not invited to speak on a specific topic, but I came knowing that given your deep understanding of national issues, there must be something we can productively discuss. Already, the general theme of the event, unlocking real estate potentials for economic development, is a viable takeoff point, given some of the already known economic challenges which the Buhari administration has been striving to overcome. I know that your perspectives will be invaluable, so do not hold back. In discussing the potential of real estate in unlocking economic dividends, I would like to build on the theme of partnership. The current administration has made a commitment to prioritizing the expansion of infrastructure stock in the country, in roads, in rail, in bridges, in broadband. These are intended to act as underpinnings for the services professionals like you provide in the development of real estate assets and the built environment. The Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers provide a broad spectrum of services that include the maintenance of public infrastructure assets, valuation of assets for infrastructure development, acting as custodian of real property, and acting as arbitrators in land dispute arbitration. My considered view is that we should consider ways in which a partnership between the government at all levels and this sector can optimize benefits for the nation. Where and how can the federal government leverage the skills of your profession to develop the housing sector, achieve land reform, improve revenues, and leverage current government investment in infrastructure as a catalyst for real estate investment in Nigeria? I would like to go on to illustrate the potential for partnership by highlighting some of the priority programs being implemented by this administration. The administration's vision to take 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years recognizes that investment in infrastructure has a role to play in driving growth. One of the national programs, which is component of our national post-COVID economic sustainability plan, this was created to accelerate ongoing efforts by the government to improve access to social and affordable housing. The goal here is to stimulate local production and create jobs within the construction sector through the engagement of small and medium-sized construction firms to produce construction input and build affordable houses across the country. The program envisages that inputs will be produced locally and on-site to serve construction. Tiles, nails, doors, windows, paints. I encourage members of this institute to engage with the Family Homes Fund and the Social Housing Program. To unlock available financing for home ownership, the Nigerian Mortgage Finance Company, NMRC, was created to develop the secondary market to finance mortgages. One tool that will support the NMRC in its work is legislation. A foreclosure law will be an effective mechanism to attract property investment in Nigeria. I call on this institution to use its good offices and undertake advocacy with stakeholders in the private sector and state houses of assembly to promote this legislation across the country. In my view, the passage of such a law will give the real estate sector a boost. For our part, the federal government will engage the National Assembly, engage the National Economic Council, but efforts must be across the board by all stakeholders. In the rail sector, we have made significant progress in building up infrastructure here. Recently, the President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, commissioned the largest train station in sub-Saharan Africa and the official commencement of the 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan rail service. Similarly, the 327 Itape-Warri standard gauge rail has been completed and commissioned after 33 years of abandonment by previous administrations. This is an important economic route which will provide an outlet for the export of iron ore and other minerals. The construction of the Kano-Maradi Railway to improve trade connections with our neighbors to the north of the border. Work on Port Harcourt-Maiduguri railway line has commenced, and financing negotiations are ongoing for the Ibadan-Kano standard gauge rail project. All of this is in addition to the ABUJA light rail project, which was completed in 2018. The progress we see in the rail sector is the result of a faithful implementation of government policy to connect all parts of Nigeria by rail, as articulated in the 25-year railway master plan drafted by a previous government, which our administration has upheld. On roads, the government created the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF, investing over $1 billion in 3 flagship projects: the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Second Niger Bridge, and Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway. The government also approved Executive Order 7, which essentially mobilizes private investment through a tax credit scheme to encourage the private sector to invest in road construction for tax rebates. Similarly, the implementation of the Highway Development and Management Initiative, HDMI, is ongoing. This is a PPP program to mobilize at first over ₦1 trillion in private investment for the development and maintenance of 1,963 kilometers of 12 roads. On technology infrastructure, under the auspices of the Nigerian National Broadband Plan 2020-2025, launched in March 2020, the goal is to deliver data download speeds across the country of a minimum of 25 Mbps in urban areas and 10 Mbps in rural areas. with an effective coverage available to at least 90% of the population by 2025 at a price of not more than 390 naira per 1 GB of data, which is 1% of the minimum wage. As of February 2021, we have been able to increase mileage of broadband cabling from 47,000 kilometers to 54,572 kilometers, representing a 10% increase over a one-year period. In all the investment in infrastructure highlighted above, I encourage the Institute to play a key role in working with the government to ensure that Nigerians usefully enjoy the benefit of our investment. As I conclude, let me remind you that the Federal Executive Council in 2019 approved the policy for the maintenance of public building and works. I charge you to put the government on notice to ensure the implementation of this policy is consistently monitored. In addition, this institute can take on the role of informally monitoring government projects, thereby supporting our effort to create value for our citizens. The success of the government investment in infrastructure directly impacts your trade. So I urge you to constantly engage the government on policy and regulatory issues to ensure that the sustainability of the sector and the ripple effect on the economy. I congratulate you on the commemoration of the 51st anniversary of the Institute and thank you for your attention. It is now my singular honor and privilege on behalf of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, GCON, declare this conference open. Thank you.
Distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, can we put our hands together again for our Honorable Minister who represents the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, please. Thank you very much. Distinguished noble colleagues, the next on our program is the cultural troupe that will come here and display to us. They will dance and perform the unity dance for us. Happy listening and viewing. Thank you. Thank you very much, our cultural dancers, distinguished noble colleagues. I have the honor, distinguished noble colleagues, Your Excellencies, I have the honor and privilege to bring to the microphone the 24th president of our great institution to present our award to our dignitaries and eminent personalities. A round of applause for our president, please.
Your Excellencies, noble colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is in our character to recognize our guests, and we want to make today a memorable day for all our invited guests. We want to give you a token, and this token we are going to give to you, we want you to proudly present it where it will be very visible for people to see that you came for our conference, so that as soon as people enter, they will know that you attended our 51st annual conference in Abuja. So I have the honor and privilege to invite the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by Engineer Abubakar Aliyu. Your Excellency, sir, we know that you are a lawyer by profession and a politician by calling, but we want to co-opt you as an estate surveyor and valuer. From today, we want to present this to you as a sign of appreciation for coming to our annual conference. Please display this particular plaque in where people will see it and be proud that you are an estate surveyor and valuer by induction. Thank you very much. The next one goes to the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is what is written on this plaque. His Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR GCON. Your Excellency, it's an honor to have you. And you can see that my people are very happy that you came. And that you came to support the Vice President to officially open this conference. We are very, very grateful. Your Excellency, I have been to your house, but please, this one, keep it where when some people come, they will just see this plaque so that they will know that you came to officially see what we are doing. And by this, I want to also plead that you will be an ambassador of Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. The next is the representative of the Secretary to the Government of Federation, Barrister Boss Mustafa. The Permanent Secretary, we are very grateful that you came. And you can see that this plaque is specially made for our boss, even though the name is boss too. So you have here, we are presenting this plaque, one, for his name, and two, for also being a boss of estate surveyors and valuers. And on that note, we also want to plead that you let him know that we want to rely on him to also open door for us when we want to see the president. Thank you very much. Let me invite our own father, the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, SAN, ably represented by Aisha. On behalf of the National Council and the entire membership of the institution, I want you to present this to our daddy. He's our minister that supervises us. And we are happy that he sent you. That is our second mommy. So when you go, please touch him where he will remember us and do us good. Thank you. Some of you are clap, you won't clap well. He's our minister. Clap well so that he will give us jobs. Yes, I want to invite the executive governor of Ondo State. Please, sir. You know, there is a fashion trend that is going on in Nigeria. The old ones want to be young. The young ones want to be old. If you check statistics of what we have now, you find out that the young ones are keeping beards and the old ones are shaving. And when I saw His Excellency in Ibadan, I also asked him this question. I said, how come that we see that the young ones are keeping beards? You can see he's removing so that we see his beards. So I want to tell the young ones that some persons have been keeping these beards for the past 40 years. So, Your Excellency, we are very grateful that you attended. I'm so happy that you are here and you have fulfilled your promise. The other one we will do privately, as you said. Let me invite the FCT minister, ably represented by our own. And unfortunately, she did not give her goodwill message, but at this point, when she receives this plaque, she can just say one or two things on behalf of the minister. Let me invite the Minister of FCT, Alhaji Muhammad Musa Bello. Please, a round of applause for her. Madam, thank you very much. We are happy that you came and you are an SS of Valua. So I don't need to preach to a converted already. You know what we need from the minister. So also tell him to place this thing conspicuously in his office. If he doesn't keep it well, since you are our member, he can keep it well for him. On behalf of all of us, we present this to you.
Thank you very much, my president. I would like to stand on existing protocol to say that my minister would have been here, but for the fact that he traveled and came back and he needed to be inside his house for some time. He sends his goodwill message. He welcomes everybody to Abuja. He wants you all to relax, enjoy yourselves, and if there's anything he can do to make life more enjoyable for estate surveyors, he's prepared to do so if we approach him correctly. We want to also say that he's, with or without the plaque, he already recognizes our profession. And that is why, as I stand here today representing him, I can be so because he has recognized our profession. The deeds registrar of the FCT is also an estate surveyor. Even though the lawyers are fighting seriously for that position, but the minister has deemed it fit to give it to an estate surveyor. So that is good way from him. I also work there as a director in charge of resettlement and compensation, which is very critical for the FCT because we have to do our work to be able to release the land we need for critical infrastructure as well as other development. So in talking of the real estate potentials, estate surveyors are holding key positions that will help to unlock the real estate potentials in the FCT. Thank you very much, and God bless you as you enjoy yourselves in Abuja. And those of you who wish to stay back, you can meet us on how to stay back. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, please, I have the honor to invite the Vice President, the former President, and all our invited guests, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, the Chairman of Registration Board, and all other past presidents here present. Our royal fathers, please join us in a group photographs, and from here, the Vice President will move to the exhibition hall to officially open the exhibition hall and may depart from there. Your Excellencies, please.
Your Excellencies, distinguished noble colleagues, please let us remain seated as the Vice President and other dignitaries are going to the exhibition hall. Please remain seated. However, our tea break will be served as we are seated. Please, let us remain seated. Thank you so much. Distinguished noble colleagues, there is the need for us to be feasible anywhere, everywhere, globally. It is on that note, I want to enjoy us to place on social medias, let us hashtag NISV, hashtag ABUJA, hashtag ICC, hashtag real estate, hashtag Nigeria, hashtag valuation. It will go a long way to create more awareness and a very global feasibility for us. Thank you very much. Can we have musical interlude, please?
'cause what the truth will do, it's gonna hurt my heart. I know, Mr. President, you can't please everyone, but everybody likes it when you say rebellious end is going away.
seated. The tea break will only be served seated, please.
Hello, this is not the time for that, please.
When eventually you hear someone mention his name upon meeting him for the very first time, that is, naturally, you'd wonder, oh, could that just be his brother? Whose brother? I beg your pardon? Well, let's hear him.
My name is SURVEYOR, Chief Emma Okaswike. And if you look at the political map of Nigeria, you won't even doubt to know where I'm coming from. Because we have a politician that has made the name to be popular in the whole world. So I'm from Olumuyiwike family in Lumuwike clan in Olumuwike Kingdom in Obiako local government of Rivers State. And once you mention Rivers State now, there is one political name that will come to your mind, and that is the governor of Rivers State, Wike. So we are from the same place, and by the grace of God, God has lifted him to that level. I want to thank God for his life. By profession, I'm an estate surveyor and valuer. My practice is in Port Harcourt. I have an office in Lagos, in the home office in Lagos. My head office is in Port Harcourt. Our area of specialization is compensation and right of way acquisition and property taxation. We represent Obiako and Port Harcourt on their revenue matters, especially concerning the tenement rates.
From the time he served as Assistant National Honorable Publicity Secretary, ESV Imawike's climb to leadership has been on the ascendancy. His humility and steadfastness simply knows no bounds.
Well, I think it's by the grace of God, not by my power, not by my connection, just by the grace and mercy of God. Because the institution has found me worthy, having gone through the training, having gone through the leadership role from the Assistant National Public Secretary to National Public Secretary to the Chairman of River State Branch for 4 years, then came back to be an unofficial member for 2 years, then I contested for second vice president. I won. Last 2 years I contested for first vice president, and by the grace of God I also won. And I think that the institution has looked at me, having gone through the rope, that I have the qualification to lead the institution. So I want to thank God.
Please get seated. Tea break time. Seated, please. Please, seated. Get seated, please. Tea break time. Get seated. Thank you, sir, the President, sir. Get seated. On your seat, please. Get seated, please. Tea break time. Seated, please. Thank you. Get seated. Get seated, please.
I also want to thank the institution for giving me the opportunity to lead them at this time, and I know that there are a lot of challenges, but with God, I'm sure that we are going to set through.
As an honorable national first vice president under the immediate past administration, ESV Emaukas Wike was widely known as a man of few words who talked much less than he acted.
The real estate sector is a very great sector in the economy of any nation. And what that means is that you have a lot of space that can accommodate people in real estate. In fact, in most countries, real estate contributes between 10 to 15% of their GDP. But unlike Nigeria, we don't have that. So what has happened in Nigeria is that because we don't have the capacity, most of these foreign companies are coming in. Capacity in the sense of finance and capacity in human development. So that is why the Estate Surveyors and Valuers in Nigeria, the institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, we are training our members to have that human capacity and try as much as possible to collaborate with the government so that we'll be able to have some financial support, especially to our members who are into real estate development.
On rare occasions, when he was able to come out of his rather quiet shell, ESV Emaukas Wike always took the bull by the horn as he bears his mind on several key issues concerning the totality of the built environment.
First, I want to advise my members that we should keep to the rules and the ethics of the profession. Yes, the economy is not too good, but it is not done. We can still survive. Let us not put our hands into things that are unethical. Number one. Number two, I want to advise the government they should always seek the professional advice of estate surveyors and valuers when issues, policies, and programs that pertains to real estate investment are involved, so that they can get professional advice from our members. And to the diaspora, it is time for you to invest in Nigeria. So as a professional body, in as much as we want to encourage real estate development, real estate investment, we should be able to do it with professionals, so that at the end of the day, both the economy and the human capacity in the area of real estate development is being taken care of.
Long before he physically took over the reins of office last year in Abuja, ESV Wike had mentally gone to work, having articulated already some of the programs he plans to pursue as soon as he steps into office.
We want to start with membership drive. We want to ensure that we have quality members. And for us to do that, we want to encourage our probationers and graduate members to try as much as possible to pursue their professional membership, where which they will now be fully elected and registered as estate surveyors and valuers to be able to practice the profession. And again, we also want to do career counseling, where we want to go and start catching them young by also trying as much as possible going to secondary schools and also to tertiary institutions to educate the students on the importance and the prospects of our profession. Then number two, we want to do is capacity building. Here we want to look at our members, to train our members and also retrain our members. So what we want to do is to ensure that both the new and the senior members of the institution are being carried along for them to know the new innovations that have come into the profession. Number three, we want to do is reconciliation. We find out that we are a family, and within the family there are bound to be disagreements and grievances. So what we want to do in the next 6 months is for us to reconcile our members to the level where we will come back as a family to forge ahead the aims and objectives of this of our founding fathers. And finally also is for us to see how we can be able to educate our people through advocacy. What we want to do is to use the media to try as much as possible to sell our services to the public, and also try as much as we can to ensure that we have a cordial relationship for all our service users, so that at the end of the day that there will be collaboration and that synergy between we, the service providers, and the service users will be there. There will be a synergy. So we want to try as much as possible to get closer to them for them to know what we are doing. And if they have any challenges in the course of our serving them, they have an opportunity to also tell us that these are the areas that we are not doing well. That will also help us to serve them better.
Niesv Wike had just been elected unopposed to the office of the National President of the Noble Institution. His actual inauguration last year in Abuja was simply a fairy tale one, judging by the many delays and the virtual pandemic atmosphere of the entire nation.
I hereby inaugurate the 24th president of our institution in the person of Estate Surveyor and Valuer Chief and Sir Emmanuel Okas Wike as the 24th president of our institution.
And what would you say he has achieved majorly, having been in office now for almost 1 year?
Presently, and what we have promised at the inauguration of my administration is that we are going to create job opportunities. We are going to make the environment to be open to all our members, so that both the young and the old can also have access to the job. That's number one. Number two, during the pandemic, we found out that most of our members, of course, like any other citizen of Nigeria, was finding it difficult. So what we did was to give a 30% discount to our members on their dues and their debts to the institution. And most people also, use that opportunity to pay off their dues. And I'm happy that some of them have called to say that they are happy that the council and the management was able to give them that opportunity. So what we are doing is how are we able to reduce the pains and the burdens that our members are.
Hello.
On the issue of Secretariat building, by the time we took over.
Hello. We were expected to start having our meals, but as long as you remain standing, we won't be able to achieve that. In the next 2 minutes, we will get the door shut. If you want to remain inside, come in and get seated. If you want to stay outside, you remain outside. Once we shut this door, you're expected to sit and get your meals. And remember, we have DSS at the gate, at the entrance. Take note of this clearly. Thank you.
The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, NIGERIAN, or your state branch, under the distinguished leadership of ESV Elder Solomon Faloye, FNIVS, cordially welcomes all to the NIGERIAN annual conference tagged ABUJA 2020-2021. Our aim is to rally and canvass support for the Oyo Paysetter building project amongst Oyo State indigents and other noble colleagues. We had a successful groundbreaking program of the Oyo State Niesv Secretariat building in the month of May. We implore all our distinguished colleagues and stakeholders to support this epoch-making project, one of many more to come. The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, NIGERIAN Oyo State Branch, under the distinguished leadership of ESV Elder Solomon Faloyi, FNIVS, cordially welcomes all to the NIGERIAN Annual Conference tagged ABUJA 2020-2021. Our aim is to rally and canvass support for the Oyo Paysetter building project amongst Oyo State indigents and other noble colleagues. We had a successful groundbreaking program of the Oyo State Niesv Secretariat building in the month of May. We implore all our distinguished colleagues and stakeholders to support this epoch-making project, one of many more to come. This information is from NIGERIAN Oyo State, the Paysetter State. The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, NIGERIAN Oyo State Branch, under the distinguished leadership of ESV Elder Solomon Faloyi, FNIVS, cordially welcomes all to the NIGERIAN Annual Conference tagged ABUJA 2020-2021.
Once again, noble colleagues,
is to rally.
We are supposed to have a tea break now. We'll please request that we are all seated. We're losing time. And if you remain standing, you make this difficult for us to achieve. Noble colleagues, please request that you have your seats so that our meals can be served properly. Thank you. I shall respond accordingly.
And canvass support for the Oyo Paysetter building project amongst Oyo State indigents and other noble colleagues. We had a successful groundbreaking program of the Oyo State Niesv Secretariat building in the month of May. We implore all our distinguished colleagues and stakeholders to support this epoch-making project, one of many more to come. The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, NIGERIAN Oyo State Branch, under the distinguished leadership of ESV Elder Solomon Faloyi, FNIVS, cordially welcomes all to the NIGERIAN Annual Conference tagged ABUJA 2020-2021. Our aim is to rally and canvass support for the Oyo Paysetter building project amongst Oyo State indigents and other noble colleagues. We had a successful groundbreaking program of the Oyo State Niesv Secretariat building in the month of May. We implore all our distinguished colleagues and stakeholders to support this epoch-making project, one of many more to come. This information is from NIGERIAN Oyo State, the Paysetter State.
Ay, yeah, ay, ay.
With my heart and my soul, I look in your eyes. And the way that I feel, girl, I can't deny. With my gang and my dogs, we live in the wild. Girl, I send a lot of texts, but you don't reply. Why? Yeah, I just want.
Jogo malo sale, pujang mulu. No balawale, pujang mangere. Jogo malo sale, pujang mulu. No balawale, pujang mulu. Pina malo sale, pujang mulu. Jogo balawale, pujang mulu. Jogo malo sale, pujang mulu. Balawale, pujang mulu. What if I say, make you come chill with me in my place? When you go fi come, maybe this Friday. Me and you will be chilling in my room. We go listen to some songs and my please bite it. Maybe we could do this to the midnight test. Yeah, because I want you, yes I want you. Yeah, and every day girl I be missing you. You know 15 I say you don't miss me too. Cause I know say now my music you they listen to. Your pictures on my wall everywhere in my house, in my parlor, in my room, in my kitchen too. Baby girl you know say me I listen to. Yeah, because I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh yeah. Jawa, baby, give me love. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh, give me love. Baby, give me love. Oh, give me love. Oh yeah. Give me love. Oh, give me love. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh, put me down. That we see, baby. I could be your daddy, yeah. You could be me. Hey, chop the way do one banga. But you don't start to. Shall you got love for the matata? Slim daddy, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life. Yeah. I'm mortal as I am. Go. Rihanna make you always so. Go. Do your own, make I do my own. Go. Them mama, them papa, all of them want to go. Yeah. You know that I'm a biggie man. Yeah. Kick harder than Jackie Chan. Yeah. My money coming, biggie band, so number one in your area. Yeah. Sule, I want me to Sula, yeah. Don't play with me because your caro is messy. So, yeah. Go, show deal. Go, show deal. Yeah. Go, show deal. Go, show deal. Yeah. Go. Another man food is another man poison. Go. Yeah. Monkey no fine, but in my mouth like go. Oh yeah. Sure you won't come calculate my money.
I wake up, I see you as you leave. I feel it, I see it as you leave. When we kiss, I want deep, but you're far away. People everything, treated me like I was a queen. What spell did it cast on me? Or was it a make-believe? You say, girl, never be afraid of ever loving me. Those words I hung on to. Oh God, I was a fool. care assist, so you could notice. Even when you suddenly picked the things and left the keys, that's crazy. Be fine, yeah, be man show, see me silly. Be fine, yeah, but your barrow, see me silly. Be fine, yeah, see me silly, yeah. Be fine,
I had to run away and hide. Something happened in the middle of the night. I came inside without a sound. Suddenly my life was turning upside down. All that I could feel was pain, and strangers came and took my soul away. Like a deadly hurricane, I know my life will never be the same. Where do you go when you're by yourself? Who comes along when you cry for help? I know I can't change the past, but as the river keeps flowing, I'll keep on moving on. I'm hoping for a better life, praying that nobody's story turns out like mine. The only thing I know is fear, even those with good intentions disappear. All that I could feel was pain, and strangers came and took my soul away. Like a deadly hurricane, I know my life will never be the same. Go when you're by yourself. Who comes along when you cry for help? I know I can't change the past, but as the river keeps flowing, I'll keep on moving on. Where do you go when you're by yourself? Who comes along when you cry for help? I know I can't change the past, but as the river keeps flowing.
Exclusive from QuickVibes.com.
It has been done. My spirit is broken. You gave me no reason. You left me with questions. Where do you go when you're by yourself? Who comes along when you cry for help? I know I can't change the past, but as the river, I keep on going. Where do you go when you're by yourself? Who comes along when you cry for help? I know I can't change the past, but as the river keeps flowing, I'll keep on moving on. Where do you go?
There is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. I wake up in the morning.